Hey, good morning, everybody. On this episode of Together Tuesdays, we have Chris Harden here with me, and he is another agent at Real, but he does something different than anybody else I've seen. And he helps agents with their SEO on their websites. He also has another product called Book Me Solid. If you're interested in that, you can reach out. We will share his contact information in our Zoom here today. But one of the best things about where he works on his SEO is he has, and he does it for agents all over the US, is he actually gets you to rank. This is pretty quickly too. If you follow right directions, I think as agents, we don't always do that. We think we have a better solution or know better. But we have a saying in my household, and that is don't let a nickel hold up a dollar. And I think as agents, we do that all the time. We're afraid to spend some money to get an end result, and we think we're going to do it. Right? We're going to do all the things, and we are not skilled at all the things. I've taken all kinds of classes on this for years and not gotten where I wanted to be. But from the moment Chris stepped in, I could see progress within a week. I mean, probably days, really, Chris. It was crazy. And we were just talking about, I have this thing called a rich snippet, this Google, where it thinks you're an authority on a topic. And
Most of them
last
do.
night, my family thought I was nuts when I was all partying. I came up as this authority on this topic. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a rich snippet. So we're going to dive into that a little bit. Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Chris Harden. I sell real estate here in Woodstock, Georgia. I am a new agent. I'm a digital marketer first and foremost. That's why I got into real estate. I saw it as a bigger opportunity to get paid different ways and help other people. So the way I got into the SEO side is I was building out my website, but I kind of thought about it differently. Everybody else is going homes for sale, 500,000, whatever. That's cool. They can go find that on Zillow or somewhere else. I want to be found for people looking to move here, like parks, things to do, uh, places to retire, stuff like that, like more specific. So what I started doing is like I made an outline of all the things to do, anything that like a mom would Google, playgrounds, stuff like that, right? Anything and everything that I know got some traffic and didn't have a ton of competition, I went after it. So here, I'll show you my website.
Let me share your screen. Let's see if it'll let me. All right, there you go. You should be able to share now.
All right, let me see. New window. So like if you do move to Woodstock, Georgia, you can see like I've got downtown, moving guide, pros and cons, all the things, right? But once we get into it, you can see how deep I went with it. And the reason I went deep with it is because I found out that there's not a lot of competition for these search phrases. They may get like 20 or 30 or 100 as where everybody else is going for the thousands. But all those 20, 30, hundreds, those add up to thousands. You know what I mean? So what I did is I started out with the things to do and I just went down the list. I was like, what the heck can you do here, right? And the way I really started that is I looked at my phone. I was like, what did I make a story of that you can do around here? And I just kind of backtracked on it. And that's kind of how I began with it. And then last year I did neighborhood tours for Woodstock. So I reached out to anyone and everyone that I knew. And basically I did ride-alongs and I did to continue. Oh, that's my new thing. I'm testing something out. I talked to Malcolm Lawson and he's like, I changed this checkbox and things started happening. So I'm trying to pop up. He's like, it kind of feels like they're flowing with it. And it says continue reading. So I'm trying that out. I just launched it yesterday. But anyway, I did all these neighborhood tours. I would do ride-alongs and I would ask, how did you find the neighborhood? Why are you here? What do you like about it? What would you change about it? Where are we close to? And it was all about them. And it started out in golf carts and then it progressed to Jeeps and then it progressed to whatever we can ride around in, you know what I mean? Because everybody doesn't have either of those. But I had a bunch of videos, right? Because I did YouTube first and I wasn't really having success with that. I had momentum with it, but I didn't have success with it. So when I built my site out, it just naturally like fit. I was like, cool, now I can plug these things in, and then it kind of goes hand in hand with the things to do, and it gives more authority. You know what I mean? So that was kind of where I started with that. And then I started comparing cities, the cities around me. I started doing like Ackworth versus Woodstock. And then as I started to rank, I started like digging even deeper into that stuff, right? So that's kind of where I got started. And I was like, was it a fluke? So what I did is I'm like, let's do it for another city around me. So like I moved to Kennesaw, and I'm number one for that. So it wasn't like a fluke. It was like a repeatable process. We got the things to do, which I don't have a ton of things to do. I've got more the stuff about buying, the questions and stuff like that. And I've got more stuff about retiring and stuff. But say I don't have any neighborhood tours here. So I don't really have that authority of video alongside of it. So whenever I connected with Lorraine, she already had like videos and stuff. So we started like implementing that stuff into her site, to build that more authority, because she was like all over the board. She was in Sandy Springs and Gainesville and this and that. And like
I was not trying to be in Gainesville.
I think once she saw that you could
How
just
that
go
ended up on there. I'm like, how am I an authority in there? I can't remember if I've even ever driven to Gainesville.
right. And that's kind of what happens with these big IDX websites. You're like, I want these areas, and they start to do those searches, and you might or might not rank for it, but you don't want to get in the car and go an hour and a half to go do something over there.
No.
So by eliminating all that stuff, let's take a look at your website.
All right.
Basically, we eliminated all of that stuff, and we modeled it like my website, where it's very specific to Dallas, Georgia.
So everything on mine now is moving to Dallas, Georgia. So I have everything under the buy, build out. Here's my things to do. I've got sell your home. That's my other one because I want listings. And we've been very intentional with that, like selling your Dallas, Georgia home and moving out of state,
Yep.
downsizing,
Downsizing.
all that. How to sell your parents' house after a death. 6 ways to attract more buyers. One of my favorites, we were just talking about this, is my retirement. We have a lot of new construction coming in that is retirement homes out here, and they're very intentional. You're talking about intentional business. We've gotten, just since we switched this over, 3 leads that came in that they're very intentional. They are relocating and they want a retirement home. Nobody clicks into retirement homes unless they're looking for a 55 plus, right? I mean, they're very intentional. They either want activities, that lifestyle, or they're just looking to reduce stress on their lives. They're usually moving in to be with for a kid, or they live locally and they have a house to sell. So you'll have a 2-sided deal, and they are either cash heavy or they are all cash, and they're looking to buy. So it's not the quickest sale because they are planners, but they're very intentional planners. And so we did this, and then Chris had put in some of these for me. I behind the scenes built out then the neighborhoods. I have to do Bel Air. That's my last. And then I think there's 2 other new ones that just came up. But we discovered yesterday, if I come over here and I come in, there's incognito. If I come in and I put retire in Dallas, Georgia, I am literally what's called a rich snippet. So for anybody who doesn't do SEO, when you go out on the internet, let's say you're talking about depression, and you type it in, Mayo Clinic. My husband does that for work. He does healthcare. And if Mayo Clinic is the rich snippet, they're the authority for depression. They've done so much studies on it and help with it and everything. So when they think you're an authority, you get what's called a rich snippet. That's above even ranking. It's like the holy grail. And so I have so much information now bought out. I've done some blogs, linked it with my Google My Business. They think I am literally the authority if you wanted to retire in Dallas, Georgia. That's why I'm like a feature up here. So I'm super excited. I'm messaging Chris last night. I'm like, I don't know if anybody else is going to appreciate how cool this is, but there it is. So
Type in neighborhoods in Dallas.
that, yeah, it's just
That's the second goal.
right. And here's what's interesting. The rich snippet above ranking beats out even when people run ads, because you're going to have people who run ads. If I type in move to Dallas, Georgia, a lot of times I end up with ads if ads are being run and they're moving companies, right?
Yeah.
But right now, my neighborhoods, my best neighborhoods, I'm even beating today some of the moving companies. So it just depends on the time of day if they're running ads or not. Um,
Well, the reason you're beating them, like most people think it's hard to beat Zillow or all of those, but if you think about it, they're just like a big IDX site. There's no useful information. It's just searching stuff. So the more information you can have specifically about that community, you become the authority and outrank them. And it doesn't matter how old your website is or how many link backs you got to it or any of that. It's just your content is better than what they're putting out. So
well,
that's why I want to move
and
up.
we've seen probably, we've been doing this, what, 3 weeks now, maybe?
Yep.
So I had some stuff. I'm like number 15, number 7. I had a few things I had done, like my best neighborhoods in Dallas, Georgia, or I had a couple other things that were ranking. And watching them move up was rapid. Like in 2 days, I'd be number 4, number 5, number 2, right?
Mm.
So this downsizing, I'm showing up again. All these movers right here, the organization that was above me 2 days ago. It's amazing how it suddenly says all your content, right? Like it's kind of piggyback on it.
Yep. You
And
can see that says 3 days ago. So like
3 days ago,
that
yeah,
one
is
got
when I did
re-ranked.
that. Pros and cons of living in Dallas, Georgia. Um, so this one fluctuates a little bit for some reason. I have yet to figure that out. Oh, it's got Dallas probably. That's why. It thinks I'm also an authority now on this, Chris.
Yep.
Two
That's
days
awesome.
ago, I was number 1, and but I didn't have the rich snippet 2 days ago.
But see, now you got 2 on one page, right?
And I'm here.
Yep. And you don't have a video. So like how
I
cool
don't
is
have
that?
the
Like you
video
can actually
yet, but
compete with the
I
video.
have the stuff for the video. So that's the
But keep
next job, right? So,
yep.
um, that's crazy. I didn't have that 2 days ago. And you know what's crazy on the other one, which was the retire? I
Mm.
showed my loan officer this in the afternoon. He's interested. He and I were having a conversation about it. I pulled it up in incognito. I showed him the retire, and I was down like below the videos and everything. I didn't have the rich snippet till last night. So it's rapidly changing on that growth in, like I said, in just a few weeks. So, and this is, like I said, the leads we've had so far that have come in off of it are very intentional
I would
because
I would add something else. If you click on images, we should like pop up within there too. Because kind of
cons right there.
the key to that is people look, and then we're down there on that third row too. So with the kids, is Dallas a good place to live?
Yes, Dallas, Georgia. I added that in, a good place to live. That's me.
So like people search multiple ways,
This is
and
me. Recreational activities in Dallas, Georgia.
having multiple images on a page helps break up all the words. You know what I mean? So the more, I mean, on most pages, you want to have 2, 3, 4 images. And then also you want to have internal links linking back to your other stuff. So if you go look at that retire page, you're linking back into those communities. You know what I mean? That's why it gives it more of that authority, because we do have those links going back internally. They're not external. They're not saying go check out the retirement home. They're coming back to what you're feeding them, you know? and you're feeding them pretty much video content. Obviously, we can go deeper with that one, but like
Yeah.
in basic, it works, you know?
Well, and then I have the frog, the golf course there. So I've linked it back into my golf course pages too. So if they're on one of these, and then I did the whole neighborhood as a whole.
Yep.
You know, and then it's got the IDX feed on there. I need to add a call to action on that one. I'm glad I just saw that. Where they can schedule to talk to us. So some of my stuff is blogs that I link them out to. That was that is Dallas, Georgia, a good place to live? This is something people type in. One of the, you know, that's something they care about. And then
Yep.
I linked them back over to my recreational activities page, which was my things to do.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm starting to rank for that is I created all the links to all the things they would want to do.
The whole goal of Google is for you to be the end result. If people have to go back to Google and do it again, you didn't do it right. So like I keep that in mind as I create stuff. It's like, what am I missing? What could I add to that? And I like go compare who's ranking the top 10 now and what do they have that we don't have. You know what I mean? So I'm always like comparing that. But as I do it in other cities and other countries, it's like there's there's a there's a pattern, you know what I mean? Cost of
Right.
living,
You were
things to
showing
do.
me somebody else in another city. So that's what's interesting too. With Chris,
Yep.
he doesn't have to live there to be
No.
able to help you create this out. It's a template, you know, it's a format, but then you got to go find that information in that city. And be very clear, everything on my page is not just in Dallas. There are some things I put in that are near Dallas because your city is never going to have 20 options for somebody to go do, or 5 options even sometimes. But a lot of people type near, right? Near Dallas, Georgia, near whatever. So we've been able to expand that. So don't feel like you're going to pigeon your hole where you won't have enough information. You know, you're like, I only got one golf course, my whole neighborhood, you know what I mean? And then one community where I live. So but you got to have a pinpoint to drop it from because you got to have that name and then build out with the content from it. Like all my golf courses aren't exactly you know, in Dallas. They're nearby because somebody's going to go play golf. They're going to drive 10, 15, 20 minutes all day long to go play golf somewhere. This was my call to action. I didn't have on the other one. Sometimes it's floor plans. If it's new construction, call me and I can help you with that or schedule a call. Maybe it's a guide, you know, your Dallas guide. My guides are flip books. I've taught a class on that. And they have to, you know, they register when they download it. So I capture their information. So that's you know, that's something, a feature that I had not turned on previously, but you know, we're about to try testing that so that we can get that lead if they just get the book and they kind of hop out. So because that's the goal. You want them to register. The leads we've gotten so far since we've done this through here where we can track it, they've all been the retirement. That seems to be where we were ranking the easiest and fastest. And all 3 of them, one of them called. She registered, and before we could call her, she called us. She
That's
was
great.
so interested. So they're very, very intentional. They're not clicking on a pretty house. Like if you buy Google PPC or something else, that IDX feed everybody has. You know, this part right here, where the houses are, everybody can do that, you know. Um,
I think retirement is where people like that's the sleeper that nobody's focused on. And right now is the time to dig into that because those are the people with the money, right?
And
Everybody's
the
having
baby boomers, that's a huge population. Baby boomers are massive and aging, and we're living longer. So
yep.
they are needing solutions. I think multi-generational living is huge. I have several clients right now that are having to either bring in, you know, if they don't go to the 55 plus, they're looking at an option to do multi-generational housing. That's something I want to dig into, where the basement's complete. I wish we did things like ADUs, you know what I mean? That in-law suite. I've been talking with a couple builders. I think that's super smart, and above ground too.
Goo- Google multi-generational in Woodstock. See
Let's
what you get.
see if I'm ranking on that. Let me go back to my incognito.
I mean, we don't have one for you. I have one for me though. That was one of the first ones I wrote because I started thinking about boomers first and
I
then I went
have an
backwards.
app for it. I don't know that I'm ranking. Let's see, multi-generational living. Whoops.
I did it like all one.
Oh, is
one
it one
word.
word? Let's see what it
But I
does.
mean, it'll tell you
Yeah,
suggestion.
it popped up. Number one.
I got number 3 too though.
Oh, you do. Yeah, you do.
So you can see like the variations of that's a continuation, but it's a little different, right? It's like preparing for it.
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the other one is like, what is it?
I'm below the ads. I'm not a rich snippet, but give me a couple days, Chris. Because that's huge. We're finding not just with an older generation moving in, but we're seeing a lot of kids move back in, right? They
Yeah.
they move out, they go to college, they do whatever, and they, finishing out a basement for them. We're seeing that. It's just hard for first time home buyers, and your kids trying to survive out there. I know my son was going to move out this year with some roommates, and then he came back and he was like, I don't know how good I'm going to eat. And I said, probably not. It's a tough one. So he asked, could he stay another year and save some money? So we were like, yeah, that's the harsh reality we're in right now with people. So those kind of topics, something somebody would search, they search distance, they search the economy, they want to know is a good place to live, they want to know if there's a park. We all know they want schools. They want to know where hospitals are, medical facilities, things that
Wow.
people care about. Not, I'm going to move you over here because I feel like I'm talking to you weird. My camera is over here. That's what they search. And we create websites that don't have any of that information. They're pretty. I told Chris I wanted pretty and SEO, but they want more information, and you got to stop being just an IDX feed,
Yeah.
because that's not special anymore. There's no secrets. If you want to see a house, you can click a button and look at any house, get
Well,
into it with an agent. There's no value. You're not providing any value either.
if you click on that first ad down there that says new homes in Dallas, if you
Yes.
go to theirs, they don't have anything about the community. They don't have anything about the amenities there. They don't have anything about anything there. It's just like, please buy my thing now. You know what I mean? So that's where everybody's been trained with PPC, is like get them there and capture them. Well, if you can capture them before that, when they're looking for the playgrounds nearby or the grocery stores nearby, like they already kind of know more about you and you really live there. You know what I mean? Like they already, if they keep seeing you pop up for different things that they're looking for, they'll reach out to you versus like just this randomness. You know what I mean? Like that's like a stock video.
Mhm. Well, they're not going to see I know a lot of agents struggle on the video piece of it being your face, your content, your information. Doesn't
Yep.
have to be super fancy. It's got to be content,
Yeah.
and
So they actually
kids see and
hired,
know and trust you. And you're an authority if they think that you're everywhere. Uh,
yeah, they hired somebody this past year to do that for them, but yeah, they're not really still popping up.
yeah, this is the first time I've seen them. I actually know them, the owners.
Yeah, Brad and Becky. Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm. Um,
I'm getting on the radar more and more. I used to work with Brad doing like Reformation stuff back in the day. Like that's why it's like round circle back to website stuff. It's
I
wild.
know. They got listed in the lawsuit here. I thought that was crazy.
I
They're so
know.
small. I just don't understand it. I said on the thing the other day, it's sad. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, no. So let's see. I know I had downsizing. I was trying to think.
Even like simple things like how to buy a home in Woodstock, like I rank for that. Our VA loans in Woodstock, like go for all of the things because the lender will like that, and then you can be like, hey, help me fund it. You know what I mean?
Well, like Down's house in Dallas, Georgia, it's moving trucks and it's me,
Yep.
right?
So if you
I
did a
mean, now we all
review, if you did a review of those moving companies, you would be like on top because you're like, well, those guys suck. Based on their reviews, I came to the conclusion they suck and these other guys are better. And you don't know any of them, but like you would become an authority because you compared them, you know?
I know. So let's see. This is I've been trying to do neighborhoods.
Yep.
That's the hardest one. I keep getting beat out by him. Artists and builds in the air. So this is one that, like I said, but if you look up best neighborhoods, which
Do
people, let's see.
Before you do that, I want to share some secret sauce for everybody
Okay.
that's technical and nerdy. Y'all appreciate this. If you click on that top one there,
Uh-huh.
and then say like it's teamleehomes.com. If you delete everything after that and just type in sitemap.xml, it'll give you a list of all the pages in his website. And then you can reverse engineer what was their thought process? How are they coming up? Did they have 15 pages on Seven Hills and I only got
Not
4?
XML or
Sitemap.xml.
oops.
XML. Yep. Pretty much all websites generate this. So see how it's got two of those? You'll have to pick uh, one of those there. You'll have to copy paste. So it'll be like sitemap_0.xml. Theirs is weird.
This
Basically, when you have tons of pages, it starts breaking them into miniature snippets of that. So if you go back up to the address bar and do sitemap_0.xml,
okay.
now leave all of that and just put nope.
Nope, it didn't do it. Okay, go back. This
Nope.
right here.
Yeah.
Do I copy and paste it?
We'll just open the top. If you just add
Oh,
_0 to what you have, it'll go there. Sitemap_0.xml. So this is what I do is I dig into those. So see that was the sitemap. What happened? File does not have any information associated with it.
there it goes. Well, man,
Yep,
there it goes.
that's it. So do a search, do like a Command F and search for Seven Hills and see how many times it pops up. It'll give you every page that they have for Seven Hills. And then you can see what are they talking about that you're not talking about.
So what do I do again? Go back to what I
Uh,
had to
on your
search.
on your keyboard, do like Command F to get like the find window to pop up. I don't know how to do it with Windows. It's like Control F maybe.
No, that's
Nope,
feedback.
that's feedback.
So let's see.
There's a way that like you search the page. Mine is Command F on a
No,
Mac.
me out.
Yep, see that little search
Oh,
thing?
that little thing. Okay, where did I go?
Yep. Go back to it and pop that up and search with that.
It got me like out of the window though when it did that. That is so weird. Let's see. All right.
And then go back to the XML that you're at and search the XML.
Was it a slash or a dot?
It's /
Is
sitemap.
I have a sitemap at the bottom of mine. Does all
Every,
websites do that?
They do, and that's basically a sitemap tells. That's how Google crawls stuff. So that Ahrefs tool that I told you about, basically they take that sitemap and they search it, right? Because it tells everything. But then they go another step and see if you created pages and none of these other pages link to it, you can't. It's called an orphan, right? Google can't find it.
I had a couple orphans.
I had like 100 of them because I didn't understand that until I did that. And I was like, oh, I'll fix that. But that is a, uh, That's not really a sitemap.
Not really a sitemap. This is a basics. Okay.
That's just a website page that they made to get indexed more. So sitemap underscore 0.xml,
Underscore
01, I think.
01.xml.
XML, you put
Oh, I did
HTML.
HTML. Sorry.
So like you can go to those moving company sites and do the same thing. Maybe do that. Go to one of the moving company sites and you'll see how many different variations they have. And then you'll catch on that because they service a lot of cities, the format is very much the same. You know, what is the cost to live there? What's employment opportunities? What's it close to? Interstates, etc. You know,
It didn't let me
I
in
just
here. Let
reverse
me go back
engineer
to
it.
this page again, because that's where it let me in from that before. It didn't like the main page. Okay. And then I needed to type in from here.
You need to delete that part all the way back to the dash to the /.
Okay.
Then sitemap
Underscore 01
.xml.
dot XML. I'm getting an error.
That's weird.
It let me do it before.
Just type in the sitemap.xml and it should take you back. They may have something that like blocks you from that because really that's for Google. I just found out I can go look at it. So I was like, why not? You know?
Oh, it's just a dot. Oh, that's why. Underscore.
Underscore 0.xml. So like what I did is I take a sitemap and then I go export it as a CSV file so that it can be in a spreadsheet. And then it makes it easier to see it. You know what I mean?
It's taking a second to pop back in. Okay. So Control F. So
Yep.
I don't see the little pop up though.
I don't see it on there either. It did pop up a minute ago when you did it. Nope.
That's feedback hub. I was trying different things to see what worked.
You want me to do it on my side?
Yeah, you do it on your side.
Okay. If you'll stop sharing, I'll share mine. Where's the share all? I think this is it. Okay, so just 7. You see my screen?
See, that's somebody else moved that. Hey, I did pop up. Look.
Between videos.
Between video after the video. So that's okay. My video is about to stop his video. I have 4 or 5 out of that neighborhood.
But see this, that's from old, right? So like just by updating it and adding more to it, it'll get re-indexed as newer information and move up. I don't see the team lead guy. He's not popping up.
That's funny. When I look in my area, I do. Let's see.
I seen him a lot when I was doing it.
Yeah, I seem to be doing a little bit better. That's funny.
Here, I'll just use like these guys. They pop up for pretty much anything.
Oh,
So
they do all the time.
if you go up here and do /sites .xml, so it gives you basically they're running WordPress. It looks like so you got pages and you got posts. I want the posts because they have categories and stuff. And I go Dallas, Georgia, or just Dallas.
They've spent a fortune getting somebody to do all this. Oh my God.
But see, it also tells you how many images they have on the page too. So you can reverse engineer things. So if I look at this one, it says there's 5 images on the page. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if yours had 5 images in a video and your content was relative the same or a little bit better, like you would outrank it.
And you need, if you had words on there too, right? Because it picks up the words.
Yeah, so it's called a meta description. Like when you hover over with your mouse, it should say something. theirs don't even have that. Doesn't look like. So you can see they are using WordPress, but it doesn't have a meta description for the image. So meta description for the image is this. Actually, let's do this. Just to show y'all, like I've done this in multiple cities. It works. I'll show you like the images. So like the hover images should have words that pop up. It should. Shoot.
Right down here. Is it what's hover? No.
See like this image, when you hover over it, see how it pops up words and it says dog friendly spaces in Canton, Georgia? That's a meta description telling it, hey, we should probably put that in the image search too, right? So dog friendly places in Georgia. So if you go down through here or go to images, I should pop up for that, right? Maybe I didn't do it right. Dog friendly, Canton, Georgia. It should be popping up, but that's how it works. Basically, it reads those words. See, there's my Owen's mom. But it reads the words because they don't really know what images are, or they didn't know what images are until here recently. Now they can read into images more so. But like say this hotel, they're like, I don't know, that's a hotel. They all kind of look the same. This one in Alabama looks like this one in Texas. Well, without those words, you can't distinguish is where it's at, or more specifics, whatever we're talking about specifically. You know what I mean?
That's why I had all those images for mine pulling up, right? Earlier when we looked.
Yep. Yeah, because I went through and did all the images, the meta descriptions.
So talk about that. How do you create the meta description?
So it depends what tool you're doing it in. Like in Chime, it has where basically when you add the image, it's got some fields that most people don't fill out, and that's called a meta description. You could do it there. WordPress is the same thing. When you upload the image, you've got a field for that. I use the Ahrefs tool to go back and tell me all the stuff I'm missing. So I'll show you all what that looks like, because I love that tool because it just tells me what I'm doing wrong, right? It just makes life easier when you know what you're looking for, when they like point it out. So I have all of my sites connected here, and it runs basically like a health check. So if I go to this one, it'll give me like some to-do list, right? So here you can see there's the traffic, there's the keywords. I haven't really done anything to these sites in a minute, but over here, what is it? It's called site audit. There we go. So site audit. If I go to this one, it gives you a health score, and then it tells you stuff to fix. So here's the last crawl that it did. It did it yesterday. And then it tells me I've got errors, warning, and notices. I worry about the red stuff first because red is like bad. Yellow is like, we can fix that later. And then notices is like something failed or something like that, right? So you can see the red stuff, orphan page has no incoming links. That's exactly what we were talking about. I need to get back and fix those. I haven't really taken the time because I've been doing everybody else's. But all of these pages that I have here have no inbound link to it. Like they're just there floating, right? So they know they exist, but they don't have anything leading into it. So if they had things leading into it, it would make that page more authoritative. You know what I mean? Like understanding the impact of mortgage rates. I just created that one yesterday. Why is it? The image and something's up with it. But this is the tool that I use as far as getting keywords and stuff. So I take your website, I can go over here and do Site Explorer. I could put your domain in. And this is where we do baseline and then we like progress with it, right? So this is how much traffic you're getting. This is how many keywords you're getting. You can see that we increased the keywords by 316. We increased the traffic by 4. But it gives you your organic keywords. What are you actually ranking for? And the way you read this is the difficulty. 1 to 10, you have a pretty good shot of ranking. Something higher than that, good luck, right? So like you were ranking for Homes Co. I don't know why, but you lost that one. Restaurants in Hiram, you can see like you were number 11, you moved to 17 because that could be one that we got rid of or moved because it's more Dallas focused, you know what I mean? But this gives you insights of where you're moving up, where you're moving down, because stuff's
Stop, because we got rid of any of that. Yeah.
like stuff's always moving. This gives you an indicator of where you're at, and then you can go to your competitor.
You know, it's funny, I gained 4 people, 3 of them registered and on me.
That's pretty awesome, right? So
How,
here's
how
the
funny is
team. Here's the team lay homes people. So I don't remember how many keywords we had, but we can sort them, see who has more keywords and see if those more keywords equals more traffic. So Bartow County has more keywords. You have 22 keywords in common and they're getting 0.2% of the traffic, right?
Team leads down there with 8.8%. See, they're heavy.
Well, so yeah, they are the authority. They are 8.8%. And somewhere, hang on, if I take this and go put it in here, it'll give me like the real stuff. Here we go, overview. So you can see they're actually down on traffic and they're down on keywords because they're losing rank to us or somebody else, right? But you can see also they don't pay for stuff either. So they're all organic. So the domain rating is like how old your domain is. This one is more how authoritative are you? How authoritative does Google think you are? So we got a 13 and a 6. If we go put yours in, we've got a 25 and a 2.1. But you see we got a plus 2.1, so we're growing there.
Growing. Yeah. Well, and Team Lee they cover a much bigger area.
Yeah.
You know, they've been doing it so long, but they're not being experts in one area.
Right.
You know, so I think over time, like I said, I enjoy right now. A lot of my clients are close by. I'll enjoy driving 10 minutes and showing properties and not an hour and a half, 2 hours, like the traffic.
That's what I don't get is like when people, if you're in a meeting with other realtors, they're like, where do you cover? Anywhere I can get in the car and go. I'm like, it ain't me. I don't want to do that.
They did that at we went to one of our cafes with Real, and you could tell the market had shifted because before this, people were like, I'm not driving more than an hour. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, I'll go anywhere. And I was like, oh, no.
Yep.
I'm not driving to show one house in McDonough.
No.
At a time, and they want to see it at 6 o'clock in rush hour traffic. Just not happening. I'll refer it out in a heartbeat. So,
Yep.
So wanted that, and everybody that I talked to that is still killing it in business right now, they niched down. They went hyper local. They did Google My Business, they did their websites, and they did YouTube, and everything is, and their social media, everything's local. And then you just got to pick where that local is.
Yeah.
So
I mean, all 3 of those are Google, right? So the more the merrier. Google My Business, YouTube, and your website is all Google.
they like you to play in their tools, don't they? They own YouTube. I think, that's the next piece for me. And a lot of people don't realize the power of how many times do you pull up a video yourself when you want to learn something and know how to do Where do you go? We are researchers in nature at the end of the day. I have a friend that lives in Arizona. She's an agent. I'm not Arizona, Alaska, and she hates it and they want to move. And so they want to move to Arizona. And
Hmm.
it's cold and miserable. And what is she doing? She's doing research right now.
Right.
She sent me, floor plans and what the economy is like there and the weather. And she said, Lorraine, it's not humid. I don't want to move back to Georgia. You know what I mean? Like she's in research mode. And it's not just the house. Yeah, she sent me floor plans, but it's very
Yeah.
much the economy there, the weather, all those things that people start with. And she's like, I got to get out of Alaska. They've got a 2-year plan.
Yep. I talked to a lady, she's a big EXP person. She hit me up out of the blue in Messenger asking me about Bridge Mill. She's like, do you know anything off market? And I'm like, for you or somebody else? And like, they're going to move from Florida because she's like, I'm tired of hurricanes.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's wild. They have like a cabin on up towards Blue Ridge. And she's like, I've always liked that area. So I'm exploring that more. And I was like, that's cool. That's super cool, but like it's all about who has more information about that. So if you're in your local area, why are you not the person?
Yeah,
You
you
know?
local authority. You're already here. You know,
Yep.
I mean, like I said, there's plenty of houses that get sold out here. I don't, don't pigeonhole, I mean, obviously if you're gonna do a neighborhood, you gotta realize you gotta have enough sales, and that can't be all your business because you're not gonna get every sale. But
Sure.
I know you have somebody who's heavy in Bridge Mill, right? He's got a whole site, but he's doing business out of there, right? Like,
Yep.
you want to be an authority with it. So,
He's much like me. If it's not in that neighborhood, he's referring it out.
mhm. That's crazy.
He can't ride a golf cart to it. He don't want it.
Friend that is in Florida, they're semi-retired. They moved into one of those huge, massive retirement communities in Florida. We're talking thousands of houses, right? Like massive.
Yep.
And she reached out to me a while back and she said, Lorraine, I don't want to leave money, right? Same thing, golf cart. I don't want to, if I can't ride to it in my golf cart, I don't want to do it. And
Yeah.
so I told her, I said, then that's all you talk about. I said, she had built a new website when she got down there. I said, strip it down. It's all that neighborhood. I said, she blogs on there. She does Facebook posts on it. She does nothing but that neighborhood. And she sells 3 to 5 houses out of that neighborhood a month. And I thought I was being semi-retired. I think I've, you know what I mean? She's kind of not anymore. But that's all she does.
So there's your snippet right there. I don't have a golf cart. I want a golf cart, but
Yep, you're a snippet. Look at
you
you.
can ride a golf cart pretty much everywhere except a grocery store here. Everywhere that I need to go except a grocery store. But yeah, if you write it, people are looking for it. And it's a snippet because it like grabbed that part out of it. So this is actually just saying this part of this neighborhood is golf cart friendly. You know what I mean? And then that video we get in the golf cart and we go all the way to Woodstock from there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So they know.
Yeah, no, that's cool. So, well, anything else you want to? Oh, we want to talk about. Chris has a master class that
Oh,
he can invite you to. Do you want to throw it in the chat?
sure.
Well, that's the chat. So what I'll do is when I send we send the video, if you send me that link, I'll put your contact information when we promote this and the link to the master class. And Chris actually shows you how like to create a page, right? You can show how you make the image, the whole thing.
Yep. I literally build out this page right here and I do it live. So I was like paddle boarding in Woodstock, right? So this page right here, I show exactly how to build it in real time. And literally after I got done with that, within hours, it was ranking. So you can see like I've got other people's videos in here talking about the different parks because they're the consumer, they're out there doing it. I don't have a video for that, and they're not talking real estate. So why would I not embed useful stuff, you know? So that's another to challenge your thought, but that the link that we'll give you, you can go watch how I built this out. And that's pretty much how I do it in my thought process. I use a couple of different tools, but like that one, I went word for word, post it and run away. I call it post and ghost and see what happens. Oh, are we still here? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
All right, so we'll share that information. And if you have any questions, like I said, I'll share Chris's information. And like I said, he's pretty rapidly made a change. Now, did I do some work behind the scenes? Yes. I'm going to tell you, it's not a one and done solution. You will have to build on it, right? Like this is, but we're hoping this next year we're already seeing results from it. So we're excited about, what it's going to do for our business, because we're looking for that person that's that reload client, right? They move, they want to buy, they're motivated, they usually have a home to sell, they're moving in. The downsizers, 55 plus, we're looking for somebody who's motivated. That's been the problem right now. A lot
Have
of
you
back.
have you been able to like refer them to a listing agent in their town before through stuff or no? Like,
We haven't got that far with the new ones, but we do that too. If they don't have somebody,
because
um,
that's a pretty good win, I think. If we can engineer that and like map that out, that'd be killer.
yeah, just see where we're at, as the time goes by. I have a client right now moving from Philadelphia. I referred him to a real agent up there.
That's
Um,
great.
he's from my sphere, but you know what I mean? Like I'm getting a referral fee off of that. They're a parent, um,
Yep.
retiring here, right? Like that's why they're getting close to them grandbabies.
That's it.
And that's the goal. I noticed, I think I'm ranking a little bit higher on my Seven Hills. That's one of my tactics too. Neighborhoods where you can be close. When you talk about that, that's what they're looking for. They want to be close to the grandchildren, and then the retirement piece of it.
Do
So
they do
neighborhood,
they have pool hours there? Because that pisses me off.
what?
Places that have the pool hours. The 55 plus, they have pool hours as far as kids are concerned. Because like my in-laws live there, and I'm like, this is stupid. Nobody's even out here. Like they have two pools. They have one indoor and one outdoor, and you're telling me we can only come for 2 hours a day?
Yeah, they do that. But what's interesting, Seven Hills has a 55 section. They have their
Right.
pool. Then they have the main pool. They're adding two more pools. But if you're always trying to get close to grandkids, but you don't want to be too close, right? Like you don't want to be the
Yeah.
next door neighbor. And then if you still want the 55 plus, that neighborhood, they could live in the main section in the single family homes, and you could be in the 55. It's perfect for that.
That's cool. They're
You
doing that in River Green too. They started building the 55 plus part of that.
And that, I think there's got to be some keywords, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing I've been looking at, things like that. When you start digging in it, you're like, what would make somebody think this is an amazing place to be? Really is what it is. What are
Yep.
they looking for that would make them think it's an amazing place to come to?
Yep. Tell the story.
Well, I appreciate you coming on today, Chris. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for all your work on my site too.
Hey, my pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.